Brought to you by Lister Pros TV, streaming from Tempe, Arizona. And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Jordan Nielsen here, host of Real Estate Pros on Lister Pros TV, and today we're in Tucson, Arizona with Susie Gorbett.
Sure,
Did I say it right?
I like the French accent.
Gorbett?
Yes.
Gorbett?
Gorbett,
all right.
yes.
Sorry, I'm not the
That's
best
good.
with names,
That's
but
all
I
right.
try.
It's all
I
right.
learn. I learn. Gorbett, right?
Yes.
All right, got it right.
Yes.
And she is with Long Realty, so thank you so much. Or thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join me today on Real Estate
right.
Pros here. So.
Well, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, we'll give you a couple minutes to introduce yourself for those watching that don't know who you are. Give us a little bit of background into real estate. You know, what interested you in real estate, what you were doing prior to real estate, and then we'll kind of go from there, if we can ask, right?
Sure, why not? Well, let's see. I've been with Long Realty for going on 11 years.
All right.
So it's been a great career for me, and I love Tucson. I came to Tucson, interviewed with Long Realty, never any other company, and it was terrific. It was a great fit. I had my own real estate agency in Montana.
Oh, really?
So I've been in the business now over 25 years, and it's a wonderful career filled with so many joys and a few heartaches along the way, but that's because you're involved with people.
Right.
So wonderful career, love real estate. Before that, oh gosh, many things. I was in the radio business. Did a lot of on-air
So
disc jockeying. This is just like
this is
maybe
second nature for
the fifth career, right?
Oh yeah.
TV personality.
You should be on this side. No, I'm just kidding.
I used to do a lot of MC work.
Really?
So yes, it's all been good, and probably the fifth career for
Is,
me.
real
I
estate?
don't know. No, other things.
Oh, the MC.
I got my degree in education, so go teachers.
Did you teach it? Did you
I did
teach for a bit?
I taught in the oldest school in Dade County, Miami, Florida.
Oh wow.
In the early 70s, a terrific time. Tough profession. My hats are off to all the teachers.
Yeah.
They have so many education requirements and so many requirements throughout their career, and my hat's off to them.
So Montana or Tucson? I gotta ask. You've
Well,
been here?
that's a natural. You have the cold climate, you
So-
have the warm climate, and people like to just meld back and forth between the two.
Uh-huh.
And I have clients today that I met in Crested Butte, Colorado, many years ago, 45 years ago. So it's a natural from the mountains to mountains. People
Right.
like the mountains, wherever it is out west. So
Do you have a tendency? Do you ever go back and visit Montana? Maybe during the summertime when it's
in Colorado,
115.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I like the summer here.
Yeah.
It's good. The sun energizes you and gives you a lot of warm and fuzzy. And if you can deal with the heat, you can just deal with anything.
Right.
Yes.
So you've been a real estate agent for 25 years. You've been here in Tucson for 11 with Long Realty.
That's correct.
So obviously you've seen the business change over time. You know how technologies has kind of been incorporated into the industry. What are the biggest drivers of your business today in 2018? We know that there's a lot of options, or from a real estate agent perspective, of what you can focus on. You can cold call on expired listings and different things like that, or you can do open houses. You can just
Well, I don't know if it's because my time in the business or because it has changed so dramatically. When I first got into the business, I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't even have email when I first got in the business. You know, if you talk to some of the old timers, they had a book, an MLS book, that was published every 2 weeks.
Really?
And since I was with the Northwest Montana Association of Realtors, of course, we covered such a big area. Well, just like Tucson, it's just very spread out.
Right.
But several different cities. And I was from Big Fork, and Kalispell was our hub. But we had a book, and it was about this thick. And
Every 2
and
weeks.
you'd look at little tiny black and white pages, and your clients would say, "Oh, just let me take your book home. Let me take your book home." And I said, "No, that's not allowed. So we'll do it this way." But it was then, you know, if you got the wrong book, or you had to carry these books around trying to find places. And another thing very different from the previous career in Montana, when you went to show property, you called the agent to make the appointment with the seller. You had to go pick up the keys at the agent's office.
Really?
Because we didn't have, and early on, we didn't have lock boxes. I know I'm kind of dating myself.
Dang.
But it was a great time. I learned so much. It's a totally different selling experience in Montana than it is here. I don't think I sold a tract home before I moved to Arizona. It was all acreage. I once listed a house we had to ski in.
Really?
Ski in. And because the seller wasn't there, so we had to ski in to show the house in the winter. So it's all different. There were a lot of celebrities in that part of Montana. I've worked with them. I've worked with all different kinds of people, and that's the best thing about this business. Absolutely.
So you don't miss those thick MLS books anymore?
No. After I got my cell phone, and then after I had a client really taught me about email. He was so great. I worked with him on email back and forth, never met him for about 2 months. And then I met him, and we went in one of the worst snowstorms to look for a log home. And I didn't slide off the road. Or off the...
You probably don't miss the snowstorms out here either, right?
No, it's great. You just deal with a few things else. Have your sunblock and your hat and water.
Right. So what are the things that you focus on today in 2018?
Well, I think
to
it's
drive your
still
business?
the same, but you're dealing with more hands-off if you want that. You can change that around and make it a more one-on-one. That's up to you. That's up to you how your model is for your business.
Right.
If you just choose to do things electronically, you can be kind of, a step away, but still get things done. But if you like me, I love one-on-one. I always tell everybody, if you want to contact me, call me on my phone. I'll answer it.
And that's something that not a lot of agents hang their hat on anymore. Or text me or this, but
Yes.
a simple phone call a lot of times will get to we'll make progress, whatever you're trying to
And sometimes
accomplish.
it's shorter. You
Sure,
can
yeah.
get things, especially if you talk fast, you can get a lot of things accomplished in a minute.
So what are some things that buyers and sellers should keep in mind when they're buying in the Tucson area? Or what are those things that having lived around here for quite some time, what are I guess tips or things that are probably important for home sellers and buyers to understand when going through the home buying process or selling process?
Well, especially for sellers who own property here, who have lived here, who have experienced monsoon season, the intense heat from the sun, various animals, critters that a lot of people, especially if they're from out of the area, if they're from the Pacific Northwest or the East Coast or the Florida area, they're totally different things you have to deal with.
Right.
In here in Arizona, we have termites. In Montana, we had carpenter ants. So you just learn to know about them, explain about them, and then you move on. Another thing is the extreme difference in construction between all parts of the United States, but especially here in Arizona, because you have so many riparian areas. You have a lot of green space. You have different construction. You have adobe. You have a lot of slab built. We don't have a lot of basements here, except downtown. You know, they used to build basements a lot with that A Mountain lava rock. That was the foundation for those basements. So that part is very different. Just the structure is very different.
Sure.
Um,
Awesome. So if a home buyer or seller is watching this and so do you cover the entire Tucson area?
Yes, I do.
So all over Tucson. How do people go about getting a hold of you, Susie, if they're looking to ask you some maybe real estate related questions or
Sure.
or hire you as an agent?
Well, I go by Susie G. I've had that kind of nickname for a long time. And so, matter of fact, I even have one name tag that just has Susie G on it with long. So Susie G at longrealty.com. I think that's it.
So Susie G at longrealty.com?
Yes. And also, if you have seen some of my photography work, I'm also a photographer.
Oh, awesome.
Who has some of their work at the Botanical Gardens and the Museum of Art, so that's kind of nice.
So what's your favorite piece that you've done as a photographer?
Okay.
There's always got to be one.
And it's real estate related.
Uh-huh.
I had a piece of land that was a fellow who I was a realtor with in Kalispell, Montana. I listed his land. I went out to make sure that the sign was up and everything. Went out with a friend of mine. And instead of going out the same way I came in, I turned the other way just by some. And I came across this incredible recycled tractors, cars, Texaco sign. And I took a picture. I just got out of my car, took a picture, and it's one of my iconic, it's called Resting Time, because there were 57 Chevys, there were old tractors, Texaco signs, a classic iconic saguaro with the mountains in the back. And so it's called Resting Time.
Cool.
So that was because of real estate. And real estate is one of the best things about real estate. It gets you outside. It gets you to see the surroundings and to notice so much that every particular neighborhood, locale in Tucson has. And it's terrific. Because of that, that's just one of the reasons it's such a terrific career.
Yeah. Awesome. So obviously you've enjoyed it over the last 25 years,
Yes,
right?
yes,
You enjoyed Tucson.
Yes.
And learned a lot. And check out Susie's work at the Botanical Gardens. You
Yes.
have what?
Cuffs.
Photography?
Cuffs.
What about the cuffs?
Well, these are my Susie G art cuffs.
Did you make those?
Yes, and they're all
Oh,
signed.
is that a moon?
Yeah,
No.
that's a rising moon over the Catalinas.
Oh, wow.
So, but
Where does somebody get this? Man,
Yeah, or you can call
you got a
me.
mini
You can
tray.
call
See,
me.
we were talking about that earlier. MC, what else
Yes.
do you do? Did you make those?
Yes, well, I have them made locally,
Uh-huh.
but these are my original photographs
That
that I
is
also
super
have
cool.
on big pieces or small,
Cool.
SusanJGorbettPhotography.com.
I'm going to have to check it out. Awesome.
Do. It's a great career to have in conjunction with real estate, because, like I said,
You're
you
out
get
and about.
outside, you're outside. The flora and the fauna here are terrific. Terrific.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of
Thank
your
you.
busy day,
and thank
Susie.
you for Lister Pros. I've used them with my photography for my listings. You're great. Rhonda's been wonderful. I value that, because
Awesome.
even though I'm a photographer, I am not a real estate photographer.
Sure.
You
all
do a much
different
better
kind.
job than I do.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for that.
Thank
and
you.
Thanks for joining me. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.